What's up everyone and welcome back to Motorsport Manager. Today we are once again going at it with Predator Racing, and up today we have got round 7 of the championship. We are at England, or the UK, in Guildford. It's 6 days away and there's not really much we can do. We're struggling for money as per usual. So we're around minus 3.5 million at the moment, which is a real struggle. There's no real way of making any more money currently. We've got a good sponsor appeal at least. However, there isn't really much that's attractive in terms of these sponsorship offers at the moment. So starting off, Will Hume has actually just come through to us already saying that he wants us to get rid of our lead designer, who is Wayne Bellows, as we know, saying that pretty much he's not good enough. And alright, his max potential is 3.5 stars, but for this series I think he does a good enough job, and I don't think we're going to get promoted this season at least, or anytime soon, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Also, Will Hume is pretty much going to leave at the end of this season. He's a very good driver, 5-star potential as well, and I don't think, no, he wouldn't want to renew his contract anyway, so I'm sorry Will Hume, we're going to have to continue on with Wayne Bellows as our main designer. So, building up to the race, we're just going to choose our sponsor objectives. We're definitely not going to get first, I can say that already. 5th is even optimistic as well, so we're just going to go for 5th or above because that's all we can do. If we can do that, we will make a profit. We're going to leave the car parts, I believe, exactly the same because I don't think there's anything else that we can add onto the cars. I'll just take a quick look, and there's a higher suspension, so we will chuck that on now. It's actually higher by a lot, which is pretty good to see. And I think that's it. So with that said and done, we're going to jump into practicing. Previously, we've actually been simulating these practice sessions quite a lot, and I think today will be no different. We may as well get through it relatively quickly. Hopefully come out of it with a decent setup, because mainly because Gaston Renault has a good feedback score. Will Hume isn't too bad. I think he's on 14. So we definitely get a good indication from everything there. We're just going to do this initial setup, and then hopefully that will mean that we're good to go in this session. So I just think I need to bring Renault's gearing down a little bit more. Maybe push his handling down. Downforce 2. And I think that is good. So if we quickly simulate it, see what happens as it goes on. I'm sure we're more or less going to be right down the bottom of the grid, as we usually are. I think our car's actually dropped nearly down to the worst car once again, but our drivers will carry us through, I'm sure. We just want to build up as much knowledge as we can, and it does look like it at the moment. Not sure if we're going to get level 3, and we have, so that's a really successful practice session actually. We've made it on to race day, and taking a quick look at the grid from here, we're in 7th and 15th. We need to finish 5th or above to get our sponsor objective. It is looking unlikely, so we may be in for another hit financially this race. Luckily enough, we did get some good knowledge from practice, so we'll be applying that now. I'm going to do super soft and light footed super soft for Gaston Renault. And I might actually do light-footed soft tyres for Will Hume, depending on how much fuel we can take in one go. If we can take quite a lot, see, it's only 10 laps, so I don't really think that there is much point to it. I think I'm just going to go back and go for whatever the other one was, which was race trim instead. Back to the setup. I think we need to make a couple of changes here. We got the speed almost bang on for Will Hume, so that's looking good, I think, at least. And yeah, I think that's okay. Then for Gaston Renault as well, looking pretty good. Just the top speed, so we'll move that there. That's almost the perfect setup too. I think Renault had light-footed super soft, so he's in actually a very good position here. Not so much for Will Hume, because I'm not sure how well he'll make the tyres last, but hopefully with a decent start to the race we can make some good progress and get a decent amount of points. Okay, so the race is about to start. Ideally, we'll get a nice strong start. Doesn't look like it for Wilhelm, at least. Same for Renault. We've actually kept our position, so not too bad, but not amazing. End of the first lap. Both our drivers have dropped a couple of positions. Renault's dropped down 3 now, and Wilhelm, I think, 1 or 2. So not exactly amazing. And straight away on lap 2, the safety car has come out. We have barely used anything on our tyres, but it could be quite a good opportunity to maybe pit both of our drivers anyway. I think we can get almost 10 laps of fuel in one go, so we might actually be able to stretch it out till the end. I'm hoping at least. So I think I will actually. I'm going to put Wilhelm on... I'm going to put him on a pair of softs for this stint at least. We should be able to max out at 10 laps, I'm hoping. I think that should work out quite well. Or I might actually do it next lap round. In fact, now that I think of it, I'm going to pit both my drivers now. We should have... Yeah, we will definitely have 10 laps left, so we should be able to make everything work well. We'll chuck him back on the soft tyres, and I'll quickly try and get Gaston Renault in as well, which I can do because we are pitted. So I'll keep Renault on... I'm not sure what tyres actually. I'll put him on softs as well. Hopefully fuel him up to the max. And then ideally we'll be able to make it through this with literally one more pit stop. Okay, so both our drivers are in the pits. We're going to come out of the back of the field for sure, but it doesn't really matter too much. Even though we did get delays there in the pit stops, it really doesn't matter, and we should be able to catch up with the back of the pack. We finally managed to catch up with the back of the field, and we've got one more lap before the safety car comes in, but we've definitely got enough fuel, I think, to make it to around lap 13 as long as our tyres stick with us. And then, yeah, I think we only need pretty much one more pit stop till the end of the race. On lap 7 of the race, we're still sitting 18th and 19th, just off the back of the main crowd or queue of cars throughout the grid. I tried to get our tyre temperatures up a little bit by pushing, but they literally didn't go up at all, so I just went back to normal neutral driving styles for the moment at least. And yeah, we're just going to try and sit on the back for a little bit and hopefully overtake everyone when they make their first round of pit stops. A couple of cars have just started to pit, so we're now up to 14th and 16th. Wilhelm and Renault also have just overtaken Diaz there, so we're starting to make some progress throughout the field. I'm expecting us to jump up a lot within the coming laps because everyone else should be making their pit stops. Nearly every single front runner has just come into the pits. This is our opportunity, as you would have just seen there. We've overtaken a lot of them and we're up into 2nd and 3rd. I'm going to say this is actually our proper positioning at the moment, seeing as I think everyone else will make one more pit stop as well. So by the looks of it, that early play behind the safety car has definitely paid off. So we're just going to sort out the pit stops now. We are on lap 13, so we've got 10 laps left. The plan looks like it's working out at the moment. Just going to fuel them up to the end of the race. Another 10 laps of fuel. I think all of the parts are looking good. We're going to do a fast pit stop as well. And ideally, we won't end up getting in the way of Renault, or at least minimising that time. And then he can get out in a decent position as well. We are going to come out in around about 18th at the moment, but in the long run, I think we should make our way back up towards the front. Okay, so it's the moment of truth. Wilhelm is in the pits and Renault is queuing ever so slightly. The tyres weren't too bad, so I don't think there was that much of a delay. He's definitely going to drop down a bit, but it wasn't too bad. I think we minimised the damage. Whilst Wilhelm is sitting within the pack at the moment, Renault, as you'll be able to see, has a lot of space in front of him, so at this moment he can get some really good laps in and shouldn't really do too much damage to his tyres either. He is harder on his tyres than Wilhelm, so they don't usually go as far, by around 1 or 2 laps actually, so it's quite good conditions for him at the moment. Renault's just come through to us on the radio to say that his rear wing is a bit dodgy and is kind of getting there. It's on 28% at the moment. I think I might keep it the way it's looking though, because I don't know, I don't really want to pit him again. If it does get damaged, obviously we will have to, but we're going to try and make it last as long as we possibly can. In other news, Will Hume has just pretty much been consumed by a mass number of cars. They've all just come flying past, and we're currently down to 6th, 7th now, and possibly soon to be 8th. They're all on super softs, so I guess their tyres are going to last till the end. I thought we were actually a bit further ahead, but I guess I was wrong. Lap 21 has just started for the leaders, and we are continuing to drop down the field. Will Hume has been overtaken by a couple more guys now on these softer compound tyres, so we are sitting in 9th place. Renault is in 14th, and we do have the warning lights about his rear wing. I think it should last maybe the next 2, possibly 3 laps until the end of the race. And yeah, it's been a kind of half and half race so far. Just had another warning, and Renault's rear wing is down to 4%. I'm not too optimistic at all now that we're actually going to get to the end. He is in 14th. I think he's going to be overtaken by a couple of cars though in a second. He is under quite a lot of pressure. I'm hoping, to be honest, the car will just hold out for kind of the money situation and everything like that. We're just coming around the final few corners. By the looks of it, Will Hume is definitely going to finish in 9th place. But the more interesting thing is, how will Gaston Renault do? His rear wing is sitting on 4%. We're coming on to the last straight now. And he did actually manage to hold out. The car managed to hold out too. So in the end, we finished 9th and 14th. It's not too bad. We tried an early tactic, but it didn't quite pay off. Our car really has affected us a lot this season. But yeah, we're definitely going to have to put some more investment in if we can actually get some sort of money. So we're just going through scrutineering now. I'm hoping a couple of guys might get penalised so we can go up a few places, but doesn't look like that has happened at all. 9th and 14th, meaning we've got a total of 19 points. I imagine we would have dropped down the constructors, as we'll be able to see right now. And we actually haven't. We're still in 4th place. Drawing with Vexala Motorsport at the moment, tied in 4th and 5th. Not too bad. We're only 2 points behind Ozu. I think about 8 behind Silva, and then obviously the 41 behind Garuda. So I think that's pretty much out of touch. We've only got 3 rounds left actually, and we just kind of need to make some money for next season. After that race, both of our drivers have actually improved quite a bit. Their stats have gone up. Darren Luff wasn't too happy because he thought we were going to finish 5th. But we couldn't deliver. We've also lost another 351,000, so we're nearly approaching negative 4 million, which is bad for us at the moment. Taking a look back at our car, the reliability of the majority of our components are in a pretty good state, so I think I'm just going to finish off a couple of performance pieces on our components. There's not much to do, but we may as well get started on it at least and try and make our car as good as possible, because we really are struggling with the performance of our car so far. After this race, I'm taking a look at the standings once again. In the drivers, we're still managing to be in 5th, and the teams, we are somehow in 4th, which is good. Well, our target is 5th, so we're definitely on target. However, I don't really see at the moment how we're going to be able to progress. We haven't really built anything onto the headquarters at all. I think we've literally built like 1 or 2 things, a scouting facility actually, and that's it. So we've got the worst in the whole entire grid. I can't see our car performance getting much better anytime soon. We're definitely going to lose Will Hume at the end of the season because he wants to join a high championship, so we're going to have to go for another driver as well. I'm not sure with the staff situation either, so we've got that to consider too. And yeah, our car performance is probably going to be one of the worst again next season on the grid, if not the worst. So I'm not really sure where to go, to be honest. Like, if you have any ideas, drop them down in the comments down below, and I'll definitely look at them, because I'm not sure where we're going. Unless we come out with a much better car next season, I'm not 100% sure how the future of Predator Racing, well, at least within the short-term future, how it's going to be. So I think we're actually going to leave it there today on that kind of dilemma. As I said, let me know down below in the comments what you think I should do. Give me any advice if you've got any, because I think we need some here. If you did enjoy though today's video, remember to drop a like on it. You can subscribe as well if you're new, if you want to see more videos. I'm always open to people subscribing, as you would be. So once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next video.